Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Movie Social. I'm your host, Ricky. Today's episode, I'm going to be doing a spoiler review of the Quibi show, The Fugitive. It's a great show. If you don't have Quibi, go do the trial version and watch this. You'll have enough time to watch the whole thing. They're 7-minute episodes, basically, and it's 14 episodes. It's not that long. Quite sure you can finish it all in a day. And for that amount of time and for the amount of episodes it was, they packed a lot in a short amount of time. That's a great production job, if you ask me. And it had a great cast. Keith Sutherland playing one of the lead detectives in the case. And then you had quite a bit of things going on in it. Okay, so basically there's a bomb that goes off on the LA sub. Of course, a lot of people have killed, but Keith Sutherland's character basically pinpoints from one video, not looking at the rest of the videos, but he pins it on to this other person, Mike Farrow, who was recently who recently did get out of jail for being convicted of vehicular homicide, basically. It was manslaughter that they charged him with, but he got out of jail, and it was actually people related to the mayor, I believe, his daughter or son, something like that were killed in the crash. And so now he's on probation, and so yes, from the video angles, you would almost think it was him, but had they looked more, they would have seen that it was another suspect. And so it's basically, in a way, it reminds me of 24, how everything's happening within that same 24 hours, which is kind of interesting. Maybe they were trying to play it like 24 in a way, but you have them hunting him down. Also, a reporter who leaked his name as being a suspect before anybody else wanted it out. And so you also had that drama playing out. And you have the character Mike on the run, essentially trying to find out what's going on. And one of the people that he was down there with right after the initial bomb went off sees everything on the news, contacts his daughter, because that's Mike had called his daughter off that man's phone after the explosion because his phone was gone, which didn't make things look good for him anyway. And the guy basically pretends like he's his friend, but all in all, it was to set him up with the second location that the bomb was going to go off at the courthouse, to pin it all on him. And at this point, it really looked like he was guilty. And you had the reporter basically saying everything like he's guilty and all. And then you have the cops coming down on him. They already arrested his wife in Chicago. But at this point, that's when Mike realizes who the real criminal was and starts trying to hunt him down and get the evidence. And if it wasn't for Mike being able to outrun the cops, which is how one person outrunning the FBI and the LAPD and also other law enforcement agencies that were involved. How? If this is supposed to be a terrorist attack, wouldn't the city be completely shut down? That's one thing that kind of bothered me. Why is it like everybody's still going on about their day? Everything would have been closed. Everything shut down. You don't just shut down the train, especially after the second bomb went off. And then he knows that it's going to be a third bomb, so he's hunting him down. He eventually leads the cops to the man's house, where they found the blueprints and everything of the courthouse bombing and evidence about the first bombing. What they didn't know was there was supposed to be a third bomb. They found out once he no longer was a suspect. Of course, they didn't ever catch him, but they looked back at footage of where he had been and seen that he was investigating them, and and then concluded about a third bomb basically at the same time he did, but luckily Mike got to the third bomb first, disarmed it, which was another plot hole that I kind of felt was a little shaky. I mean, their reasoning for it being that looking at everything from the court records and everything, he found the way to easily be able to find out how to disarm the bomb. Maybe. Maybe believable. Not too much believable. But he eventually gets the guy to only get attacked by construction workers who still thinks he's the suspect because they haven't released that information yet to the media. The actual bomber gets away. He's off to his kid's school. He calls the detective, who's played by Keith Sutherland, telling him that, yeah, he just came in contact with the bomber. He couldn't have gotten too far away. Only just to get to his daughter's school, and the actual bomber had somehow miraculously caught right up to him and shoots the principal in the arm and tries to hold the daughter hostage. Somehow he talks the bomber down from killing his daughter, and just as that same second happens, the cops showed up and shot and killed the bomber right in the head. I mean, as a whole, the show wasn't bad, but there were a few holes that I think maybe had it been a longer show or more episodes, they could have probably patched those holes up a little bit better. Maybe having a whole episode of him disarming the bomb. Who knows? But all in all, it was pretty entertaining. I thought for the time restraints and the limited amount of episodes, it was a job well done. Definitely check it out. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. Until next time.